All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Naresh Mago and with me is Sarabjit Kaur. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with Chief Ministers today to review the COVID-19 situation in the country. Over 86% of adult population in the country fully vaccinated against coronavirus. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu to inaugurate 100-meter tall tower of Akashvani FM at Nellore in Andhra Pradesh today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says India has the potential to become the content subcontinent backed by talent in the field of technology and culture. Himachal Pradesh government signs an MOU for development of 7 ropeway projects in Kangra, Kullu, Chamba, Sirmaur and Bilaspur districts of the state. Border hut at Indo-Bangladesh border in Meghalaya opened after a gap of 2 years. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov says NATO risks turning Ukraine conflict into a world war with nuclear weapons. Bangalore-based Jain University bags 4 gold medals in swimming at Khelo India University Games, and in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals beat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 29 runs in Pune. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. Recalling our yesterday's question, name the freedom fighter who was popularly known as Gandhi of Haryana. Passed away in 1997, he was also involved in Bhudan and Sarvodaya movements. The correct answer is Babu Moolchand Jain. Lovingly called Babuji, he was a freedom fighter, a statesman and parliamentarian, a lawyer, a social activist dedicated to the ideals and principles of Mahatma Gandhi. He was imprisoned several times during both pre-independence and post-independence struggles. Because of his visionary philosophy, statesmanship and ethical conduct, he was often referred to as Gandhi of Haryana. All India Radio News got an overwhelming response from its listeners across the world, and the one lucky winner of the quiz is Lalan Prasad Singh from Suresh Nagar in Hazaribagh, Jharkhand.
I am happy to know that I have been selected and shortlisted as a winner of Amrit Mahotsav English Quiz today. I extend my sincere gratitude to Akashvani for such a noble idea to bring all about the freedom fighter in light and brave persons country-wise. I thank you for this grand event. Jai Hind.
The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with the listeners on Monday, the 2nd of May. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will today interact with the Chief Ministers on the COVID-related situation in the country. The review meeting will be held at 12 noon through video conferencing. The meeting has been called in the wake of rising cases of COVID-19 in the country as some of the states and union territories are witnessing a surge in daily cases. In the previous review meeting held in January this year, the Prime Minister had directed officials to maintain extreme vigil and alertness at all levels. He had also directed the central government officials to work in close coordination with the states and support their efforts of public health measures of containment and management under the whole of government approach. Earlier, he held several meetings with the chief ministers and administrators of states and union territories. He also reviewed the COVID situation at the district level by interacting with the district magistrates. In his monthly Man Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 24th of this month, Prime Minister Modi urged people to follow all the COVID protocols like wearing masks and washing hands in view of the upcoming festivals.
आने वाले दिनों में देश में ईद का त्योहार भी आने वाला है। 3 मई को अक्षय तृतीया और भगवान परशुराम की जयंती भी मनाई जाएगी। कुछ दिन बाद ही वैशाख बुद्ध पूर्णिमा का पर्व भी आएगा। ये सभी त्योहार संयम, पवित्रता, दान और सौहार्द के पर्व है। आपको कोरोना से भी सतर्क रहना है। मास्क लगाना, नियमित अंतराल पर हाथ धुलते रहना, बचाव के लिए जो भी जरूरी उपाय है उनका पालन करते रहें।
Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandviya said that over 86% of the adult population is now fully vaccinated in the country. Health Ministry said country's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 188 crore mark. It said more than 19 lakh vaccine doses were administered yesterday. The ministry said more than 3 crore 18 lakh vaccine doses have been administered to 12 to 14 years age group so far. Over 2 crore 72 lakh precaution doses have been administered to the identified categories of beneficiaries, including healthcare workers, frontline workers, and people above 18 years of age. More than 27 lakh people have participated in Ayushman Bharat block-level health melas in a week. The health melas were organized at more than 3,000 blocks spread across 33 states and union territories. Union Health Ministry has said more than 3,66,000 Ayushman Bharat health account IDs were created across the country. The ministry said more than 1,17,000 Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana golden cards were issued. It said more than 1,76,000 teleconsultations were conducted across the country, and a cumulative of 6,75,000 hypertension screenings and 6,11,000 diabetes screenings were done in the health melas. The Health Ministry, in collaboration with states and union territories, has celebrated the 4th anniversary of Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centres under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav from 16th to 22nd of this month.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu will inaugurate 100-meter tall tower of Akashvani FM at Nellore in Andhra Pradesh today. The tower has been built at a cost of 10 crore rupees. After the inauguration, the Vice President will interact with prominent persons in Nellore during a high tea at the radio station. Mr. Naidu will visit Aluru Mandal and inaugurate Devi Reddy Sharada Charitable Trust. The Vice President is on a 3-day visit to the district to participate in various programs. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has said that India, as the largest filmmaker country, has the potential to be the content subcontinent of the world. Speaking during the second day of Rayasena Dialogue in New Delhi, Mr. Thakur highlighted the importance of hard power and soft power, saying that power is an interplay between hard power and soft power. He said a nation needs to have hard power in order to exist and stay relevant, while soft power is needed to establish good relationships as it captures imaginations and touches hearts. He says soft power is emerging through Indian cinema in the last few decades. He said now the world is looking towards India, which is emerging as the hard and soft power.
I think power is interplay between hard power and soft power. To exist and stay relevant, a nation needs to have hard power. Soft power captures the imagination, it touches the heart. As far as the hard power is concerned, the soft power is also emerging through the cinema. Being the largest filmmaker, I see India has the potential to be the content subcontinent of the world. You need soft power. So I think there is interplay of hard power and soft power both. Nobody will look at your soft power if you don't have the hard power.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar yesterday said that India has a very clear position on the conflict in Ukraine, which emphasizes on urgent cessation of fighting and return to diplomacy and dialogue. Speaking at the Rayasena Dialogue Town Hall, Dr. Jaishankar said the Ukraine conflict is an issue of concern for everyone. Replying to a query from the audience, the minister said Asia faces its own sets of challenges which often impact the rule-based order. He pointed out that the entire civil society in Afghanistan was thrown under the bus by the world less than a year ago.
All of us would like to find the right balance of beliefs, of our interests, of our experience, and that's really what we're all trying to do. And it looks different from different parts of the world. The priorities are different. That's quite natural. But as I said, at the moment, these shocks are really for all of us to be concerned about, because each of these events, Afghanistan, COVID, big power rivalry, have global consequences.
Fasal Bima Pathshala will be organized across the country under Kisan Bhagidari Prathmikta Hamari campaign. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar will chair the national level special program on Fasal Bima Pathshala today. He He will connect with the farmers in all implementing states across the country through specially organized Fasal Bima Pathshala coordinated by Common Service Center from 1 lakh locations across the country. More details from our correspondent.
The Kisan Bhagidari Prathmikta Hamari campaign is being organized from 25th to 30th April under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. During the campaign, all implementing insurance companies will organize Fasal Bima Pathshala at block, Gram Panchayat and village with participation of at least 100 farmers. The campaign aims to make the farmer aware about key scheme aspects of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana like basic scheme provisions, importance of insuring the crop and how to avail scheme benefits. 1 hour Fasal Bima Pathshala will be conducted at state level in coordination with Common Service Center and implementing insurance companies. Dipendra Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with Chief Ministers today to review COVID-19 situation in the country. Over 86% of adult population in the country fully vaccinated against coronavirus. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu to inaugurate 100-meter tall tower of Akashvani FM at Nellore in Andhra Pradesh today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says India has potential to become the content subcontinent backed by talent in the field of technology and culture. Himachal Pradesh government signs MOU for development of 7 ropeway projects in Kangra, Kullu, Chamba, Sirmaur and Bilaspur districts of the state. Border hut at Indo-Bangladesh border in Meghalaya opened after a gap of 2 years. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov says NATO risks turning Ukraine conflict into a world war with nuclear weapons. Bengaluru-based Jain University bags 4 gold medals in swimming at Khelo India University Games. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals beat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 29 runs in Pune. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। इस बार का विषय है सोशियोलॉजी। सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 27 अप्रैल। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर
8700014242।
The Himachal Pradesh government has signed an MOU for development of 7 ropeway projects in Kangra, Kullu, Chamba, Sirmaur and Bilaspur districts of the state. The MOU was signed between Ropeways and Rapid Transport System Development Corporation RTDC HP Limited and National Highways Logistic Management Limited NHLML for development of ropeways as innovative transport solutions in Himachal Pradesh. Here is more from our correspondent.
The MOU was signed in the presence of Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari and Chief Minister Jairam Thakur in New Delhi yesterday. The Chief Minister said that initially possibilities will be explored to prepare a feasibility report of 7 ropeway projects in Kangra, Kullu, Chamba, Sirmaur and Bilaspur districts at an estimate cost of rupees 2,264 crore rupees. Jairam Thakur also apprised Mr. Gadkari of the immediate need for maintenance of important stretches on Shimla-Mator, Pathankot Chakki Mandi and Mandi-Manali highways. He also urged for expediting notification of 9 high-priority road lists submitted to the ministry by the state government. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Shimla.
The border hut at Indo-Bangladesh border in Meghalaya was opened yesterday after a gap of 2 years. The decision to open the border hut between Balat in East Khasi Hills district of Meghalaya and Laubaghar at Dalora in Sunamganj district of Bangladesh was taken by the Joint Border Hut Management Committee on the 19th of this month. The Border Hut Management Committee has also decided to reopen 2 more huts next month. The hut between Rinku in East Khasi Hills of Meghalaya and Baganbadi in Duara Bazar, Sunamganj district of Bangladesh will be opened on the 12th of May. The hut between Nalikata in southwest Khasi Hills of Meghalaya and Syedabad at Tahirpur in Sunamganj district of Bangladesh is scheduled to open on 16th May.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a visit to Assam on tomorrow, where he will address the Peace, Unity and Development Rally at Difu in Karbi Anglong district at around 11 a.m. Prime Minister's address at the rally will provide a major boost to the peace initiatives in the entire region. During the program, the Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of various projects worth more than 500 crore rupees in the education sector. They include laying a foundation stone of Veterinary College at Difu, Degree College at West Karbi Anglong and Agricultural College, Kolanga, West Karbi Anglong. These projects will bring new opportunities for skilling and employment in the region. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember Manibhai Bhimbhai Desai, who was born on the 27th of April 1920 in Surat, Gujarat. An associate of Mahatma Gandhi, Manibhai Desai was imprisoned during the Quit India movement in 1942.
In 1946, Mahatma Gandhi sent Manibhai Desai to the Nature Cure Ashram at Uruli Kanchan, situated near Pune. He dedicated himself to rural development based on modern and scientific lines. Desai also promoted many initiatives for the benefit of rural people, including water distribution systems in drought-prone areas, rural school at Uruli Kanchan, with emphasis on vocational training and cooperative joint farming society.
Desai was awarded the Padma Shri by the Government of India. Manibhai died on the 14th of November 1993 in Pune. The institutes he established continue to serve the nation and the people. We salute the great Gandhian nationalist. We also remember Gandhian freedom fighter Anjana Devi Chaudhary, who passed away on the 27th of April 1981. She, along with her freedom fighter husband Ram Narayan Chaudhary, fought against the feudal policies of the princely states of Rajputana. Through Rajasthan Seva Sangh, founded in 1920, Anjana Devi works towards advancing the causes of poor farmers and landless labourers. Anjana Devi awakened political consciousness among the women of Mewar and Bundi from 1921 to 1924. She was arrested and exiled from Bundi state. Later, she led a procession of 500 women in Bijolia and got the arrested farmers released. Anjana Devi was imprisoned twice for her participation in national movements from 1932 to 1935. She dedicated herself to the service of Bhils in Dungarpur state in the 1930s and participated in Mahatma Gandhi's programs by staying in Sevagram Ashram from 1939 to 1942. For 5 years, she was busy running the Women's Information Department of the Bharat Sevak Samaj. Throughout her life, she continued to work with a dedicated spirit for public service and nation building. We salute the great daughter of India.
We also remember social reformer T.K. Madhavan, who died on the 27th of April, 1930. He was involved with the Sri Narayan Dharma Paripalan (SNDP) movement and was a prominent member of the Temple Entry movement, which fought for the entry of oppressed communities to the temples of Kerala. He was the original architect behind the Vaikom Satyagraha. The Vaikom Satyagraha is a testament to the importance of the struggle against the aggressive social practices as part of the war against the British colonizer.
Madhavan was born on September 2nd, 1884 at Karthikapalli, Kerala. He was very active in the social reform movement and in 1915 started the weekly newspaper Deshabhimani. In 1918, he presented a resolution seeking permission of temple entry and right to worship to all people irrespective of caste and community at Sri Moolam Praja Sabha, the Legislative Council of Travancore. The resolution was presented in the Kakinada session of the Indian National Congress in 1923.
In 1924, Vaikom Satyagraha was started under the leadership of Madhavan, K. Kelappan and K.P. Keshav Menon to get the right of oppressed classes to walk along the road in front of Vaikom Mahadev Temple. Madhavan and Keshav Menon were arrested and imprisoned. Finally, the Maharaja of Travancore agreed to open the road to all classes of people. However, he had to continue his struggle for the temple entry. He met Gandhiji at Tirunelveli and persuaded him to visit Vaikom.
Madhavan fought for the rights of people till the very end. We salute the great Indian
temple. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
The maximum All India power demand met yesterday was 201.066 gigawatt. It has surpassed last year's maximum demand met of 200.539 gigawatt, which occurred on 7th July. The Power Ministry said the rising power demand reflects the economic growth in the country. In the month of March this year, the growth in energy demand has been around 8.9%. The ministry said the demand is expected to reach about 215 to 220 gigawatt in May and June. In Tamil Nadu, 11 people lost their lives due to electrocution when a temple chariot came in contact with a heavy tension wire. The incident occurred early this morning at Kalimedu village near Tanjavur, when the local temple car was taken out on a procession as part of the annual Chitra festival. Several others sustained injuries and are admitted into Government Medical College Hospital in Tanjavur.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov has said that NATO is engaged in a proxy war with Russia that could escalate into a world war with nuclear weapons. In an interview to State TV, Mr. Lavrov said NATO is, in a sense, going to war with Russia through a proxy and arming that proxy. He said the risk of escalation into a world war is serious and real, and it should not be underestimated. The Russian Foreign Minister's statement comes as US and its allies met yesterday to pledge the heavy weapons Kyiv needs to achieve victory. Welcoming officials from more than 40 countries to Ramstein Air Base in Germany, headquarters of US Air Power in Europe, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said, nations from around the world stand united in their resolve to support Ukraine in its fight against Russia. Bengaluru-based Jain University maintained the top position in the Khelo India University Games on the third day yesterday. Their dominance in the swimming competition helped them keep the top spot in the medal tally. They won 4 of the 10 gold medals in swimming. 8 records were broken in the pool yesterday. Shubham Degure of Savitribai Phule University, Pune, set a new KIUG record in the men's 1500 freestyle swimming event. In the 50-meter men breaststroke event, Dhanush Suresh of Anna University set a new KIUG record, breaking the previous record held by Ansh Arora. Similarly, Aryan Panchal of Gujarat University broke the previous record in 200 meters butterfly, and Shiva Sridhar of Jain University in the 200 meters backstroke event. The second spot in the medal tally has gone to the University of Mumbai and the third spot to Savitribai Phule University, Pune. Khelo India Youth Games 2021 will be held from 4 to 13 June this year. The games will be held in Shahabad, Ambala, Chandigarh and Delhi, apart from Panchkula. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur virtually interacted with Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal during the organising and coordinating committee meeting to review the preparedness of the games. Haryana Chief Minister said that a mascot and logo of Khelo India Youth Games would be launched on 8th of next month in Panchkula.
In IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals beat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 29 runs in Pune last night. Put into bat first, Rajasthan Royals posted 144 for 8 in the stipulated 20 overs, with Riyan Parag top scoring with an unbeaten 56, while captain Sanju Samson contributed 27. Chasing the target of 145 runs, Royal Challengers Bangalore were all out for 115 in 19.3 overs. For Rajasthan Royals, Kuldeep Sen scalped 4 wickets, Ravichandran Ashwin got 3 and Prasidh Krishna got 2 wickets. Gujarat Titans take on Sunrisers Hyderabad at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai at 7:30 p.m. this evening. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 10 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 26 degrees. Jammu is expected to have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 23 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 38 degrees. Leh will have a mainly clear sky. Gilgit too will have a mainly clear sky. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 17 and maximum will be around 36 degrees. The national capital Delhi will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 43. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 25, while the maximum is expected to be around 37 degrees. Chennai is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. Kolkata is likely to have a mainly clear sky, and Hyderabad will have rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Prominent coverage has been accorded to the stories about COVID vaccines for children. First for under 12, 2 vaccines now cleared for children. Cobivax for 5 to 12, Covaxin for 6 to 12 age group, writes the Times of India. Jaishankar ticks off Europe, Ukraine a wake-up call to look at problems in Asia, refers to China at LAC, handover of Afghanistan to Taliban is a headline in the Indian Express. PK refuses to join Congress, says it needs leadership, reports the Times of India. Prashant Kishore spurns Sonia's offer to join Congress, writes the Statesman. A headline in the Economic Times reads, Government denies reports of fall in labour participation rate. Ministry flags CMIE survey methodology. LIC IPO price band likely to be set at rupees 902 to 949 a share, says the Business Standard. 5,000 AIIMS nurses on strike return to work after HC order, reports the Pioneer. And finally, homestays, holiday homes see 40% spike in bookings. New players check in, says the Hindu Business Line.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with Chief Ministers today to review COVID-19 situation in the country. Over 86% of the adult population in the country fully vaccinated against coronavirus. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu to inaugurate 100-meter tall tower of Akashvani FM at Nellore in Andhra Pradesh today. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says India has the potential to become the content subcontinent backed by talent in the field of technology and culture. Himachal Pradesh government signs an MOU for development of 7 ropeway projects in Kangra, Kullu, Chamba, Sirmaur and Bilaspur districts of the state. Border Heart at Indo-Bangladesh border in Meghalaya opens after a gap of 2 years. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov says NATO risks turning Ukraine conflict into a world war with nuclear weapons. Bengaluru-based Jain University bagged 4 gold medals in swimming at Khelo India University Games. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals beat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 29 runs in Pune. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.